Kentish Town. Kentish Town. Kentish Town. Kentish Town is steeped with a rich history, you know. Oh, steeped. For example, did you know Kentish Town was first recorded in 1208 as being named Kentiston? But then obviously we got more specific about our pronunciation and it became Kentish Town. But interestingly, if you think about it, it's now, these days, more similarly pronounced like it was in the 12th century, because now it's Kentish Town. Funny how things come round again, isn't it? Kentish Town is also home to one of London's many disused underground stations. South Kentish Town was closed in 1924, I believe it was, for strike action, which meant that the lift couldn't be used and it just never reopened. And now on the site is a cash converter's pawn shop, but there have been plans to reopen the station. But I think we'd all agree that with the credit crunch, a cash converter's is probably more useful than another station. Third bit of trivia. It was for some years, Kentish Town, home to many famous piano and organ manufacturers, and was described in the Piano Journal of 1901 as that healthful suburb dear to the heart of the piano maker. Any piano makers here tonight? Well, times change. Any piano players? Movers? Has anyone ever sat in a room with a piano? Keeping tradition alive there. And not only does Kentish Town boast all of this rich history, but it also has several kick-ass websites devoted to the area, which is where I got that first minute of my material. So that's the next 5 minutes is about tidying the kitchen. And do you know, I had absolutely no idea of how to bring the conversation round from the history of Kentish Town into tidying the kitchen, in that nice sort of flowy stand-up comedian way. But I was absolutely determined to find a way of bringing it around. So I racked my brains for days about it, you know, went round and round the houses with it, became obsessed with it. I must find a link between the history of Kentish Town and tidying the kitchen. It became a real obsession. Everybody I spoke to, I wasn't listening to what they were saying anymore, because I was just thinking about Kentish Town. On the on the toilet, in the shower, I was thinking about it all the time. Did all this crazy research. And then, I just had to give up. I was tidying up my kitchen the other day. And seriously, I love tidying up my kitchen. I do, I'm afraid. Because it's about restoring order, tidying up your kitchen, isn't it? It gives me a sense of control in an otherwise chaotic world. You know, because everything has a place in a kitchen. You know, it's designed that way. So, and I get kind of a kick out of that, matching object to designated location. There's a degree of sort of logical problem solving about it, and I get a thrill out of that, I'm afraid. So, you know, for example, milk, fridge. Easy. But there are other more challenging ones. Tea towel, hook by the oven, possibly. Dirty plate, sink. Or if you're lucky, dishwasher. Squirty, cleany, flash stuff under the sink, probably, every time, right? Am I right? A packet of pasta, roll the top down, in the cupboard. Bottle of tomato ketchup, in the fridge. In the cupboard. It is one of those things, isn't it? Where does it go? Can we have a quick poll, please? Who keeps their tomato ketchup in the fridge? Yeah. Who keeps it in the cupboard? See, pretty even spreads. Right, it seems to be one of those things that defies classification for some reason. One of life's mysteries. Who shot JFK? What happened to Madeleine McCann? And where does the ketchup go? But I find, you know, in occurrences like this with the ketchup, the best course of action is to not panic, but simply place the item down onto the kitchen work surface and push it into the corner. Right, I ran this past a few of my friends, and it seems to be quite a common occurrence that in your kitchen there is a certain corner of your work surface where, over time, there begins to build up a collection of homeless items. These things never get put away for some reason. I mean, this build-up happens for various reasons, right? One, being like the ketchup, not quite sure how to store this item. Yes. But there are other reasons why it happens as well. Some objects simply don't fit into neither fridge nor cupboard. I mean, it's ridiculous. Who designs these things? I bought a box of cornflakes the other day. 30% extra free. There was just no way it was going anywhere. Thanks a lot, Kellogg's. But other items of frequent use also get condemned to a life in the corner as well. Salt and pepper never gets to go home, spends its life going from corner to table, table to corner and back again. That bottle of orange squash that your housemate drinks about 12 glasses a day. There's no point putting it away. She'll be down again in 10 minutes for another glass. In it goes. And as I just mentioned, I live in a shared house with several other people, and we all have separate cupboards for our food. So if you're not quite sure whose cupboard to tidy this tin of golden syrup into, you just pop it in the corner and you think, that person will claim that when they see it sitting there. No, they won't. It's golden syrup, right? It doesn't get that much use. You know, she's not going to miss it from her cupboard and go looking for it. So there it sits. And then there's perhaps something like a half bag of lentils or split peas that another housemate of yours bought to flash a curry at a new girlfriend. 6 months later, he hasn't cooked for her since. Those lentils are still sitting there. And by God, they're angry. Because what happens when you deny a group of mismatched individuals their sense of home and identity and place, and then ask them all to share one territory? Uprising! Mutiny! They'll be guillotining each other's lids off before very long. And, you know, you can just imagine it, can you not? The English mustard sitting there in the corner, nudging the lemon juice next to him, looking up at the balsamic vinegar and the extra virgin olive oil, who have their own shelf designed into the very fabric of the kitchen. Fucking bloody foreigners. You frigid bitch! Yeah, sure. Yeah, and if you think about it further, final thought for you, the same chaos can also be found in your cutlery drawer. Knives, forks, spoons, teaspoons, and then everything else. Corkscrews, straws that you've bought back from the pub for some reason, cocktail stirrers, those stupid things that go in the end of corn on the cobs once a year. Yeah, those little civvy tea leaf strainer, things that your mum uses, things that you never use, things you don't even know what they're used for. Things that you're too afraid to throw away because you think they might be an attachment for something. Right, so I beg you people, please, go home and restore order to your kitchen. Restore equal rights to your kitchen. But these things, they're going to come after you in the night. And some of the things in that cutlery drawer are sharp. Thank you, you've been great, but I was better.
Sassy Clyde, another